The new administration starts on January 20th. Is there a third stimulus package on the table? Yes. Details when we continue. I'm Shelley, and this is my frugality. Hello. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you received that $600 stimulus. Okay. If you did or did not, I have some good news for you. Someone agrees that $600 was not nearly enough to balance out households that were affected by COVID. So they agree with you and me, and that someone apparently is Joe Biden. He has basically referred to the previous stimulus as a down payment, indicating that he is proposing a third stimulus package that will include several things that I'm going to share with you and then give you the details. So let's get started. So it's being called an economic rescue package, and here's what is being proposed to be included, okay? A $2,000 stimulus check, so a third stimulus check, well, a minimum of $1,400, but up to $2,000 for a third stimulus check. $600 in weekly unemployment aid. So extending that unemployment aid bonus that is set to expire in March and increasing the bonus to $600 per week extra. An increase to the minimum wage to $15 per hour from the $7.25 per hour. Cancellation of $10,000 of student loan debt and extending that pause on monthly payments, which would be terrific. And additional fundings for reopening schools. Also, state and local government additional funding that would assist in rebalancing their budgets, amongst other things. And all of this sounds good. I'm down with all of it. I'm just like, let's go. Let's get started. Get it going. When will we get it? But this new impeachment trial situation may impede on or delay some of the items in the package, but I'll give you more information about that toward the end, which ones may be affected and which ones may be introduced separately. So in the meantime, let's just talk about the details for these items so that you can just be prepared, be on the lookout, and I'll be hoping and praying that they get going with this. So if you listen to my previous podcast, you are aware now that the $2,000 that was previously proposed failed in the Senate last month. It passed in the House and then it failed in the Senate. So the $600 checks were instead sent out. However, Biden wants to apparently reintroduce that $2,000 and try to get that passed this time. So the minimum proposal would be at least $1,400, so that it ends up totaling $2,000 when you include that $600 that has gone out, but possibly even just saying $2,000. So then it would end up being $2,600 total. So now the next thing was the weekly unemployment bonus going up to $600. So instead of the $300 to $400, depending on what type of earner you are, apparently the proposal will be to increase that to a $600 per weekly bonus, which would be very, very helpful, I'm sure, to many of you. Not that anyone wants to remain unemployed, but in the meantime, it provides some additional funds to help you get by. And I do think it's important to buy the American people some time for the economy to really open back up, so that there are more jobs available to seek. So in the meantime, providing those additional funds to get by is helpful, very much necessary as well, as you continue to seek new employment. So don't let anyone make you feel bad about that, about receiving that, or like it's too much. And, because there's a lot of talk out there. Oh, there's been so much given already.
Wait, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. I'm sorry? What did you just say? You're just coming off stupid.
That's right, because budgets and needs are different for everyone. You're not in anybody's household where they're having to stretch a dollar and stretch these bills, and unemployment is still not 100% of previous income for some people. So actually, the bonus aid was making them whole. Some people, of course, it was more than their previous income. However, that aid stopped for a time, and a lot of this really is just making up for the losses. So if you need the help, definitely don't feel bad about admitting that and taking the assistance that's available to you. Okay, also being proposed is an increase in the minimum wage from $7.25 per hour to $15 per hour. And this is definitely long overdue. And that's pretty much the details so far on that. Next is student loan debt forgiveness. This one is so important to a lot of people. And the proposal is the canceling of $10,000 worth of student loan debt and also extending the pause on payments. And that could be helpful to new graduates who, came out of school right when COVID was hitting, and the ability to, find gainful employment, utilizing that degree they worked so hard for, became a real challenge. And they still had student debt that they needed to pay after the 6-month grace period. So if that's you, hopefully that helps you. Of course, that pause in payments and the cancellation of $10,000 worth of student loan debt. So we really hope that they get that passed. There is also a proposal to provide additional funding for the reopening of schools and get additional funding to states and local governments to help to balance their budgets. And anything that helps our children's lives get back to normal is a plus and a positive, and definitely support it. Okay, now let's talk about what may be introduced separately to avoid being delayed due to what all is going on with the transition to the new administration, the impeachment trial having to take place during the first few weeks of the or beyond the first few weeks of the new administration, etc. And those include the minimum wage increase, the student loan debt forgiveness and pause on payments, and also the stimulus check. So I recently read a letter written by Senator Marco Rubio to Biden urging him to, get the stimulus check out separately, not included with all of these other items, and just urging him not to package everything together in a way that creates an unnecessary delay to the American people in terms of getting additional aid to them as quickly as possible. And in that regard, I couldn't have said it better myself. So I will be following this very closely and keeping you posted and updated. And I also have some other videos coming to you soon on some other topics that I think will be very much of interest to you. So subscribe. I hope this was helpful to you. If so, please like the video. Please share with someone who may also be able to use this information, and make sure you put on the notification bell so that you know when I have posted some new content for you. And I look forward to talking to you really soon. Also, remember, we are all essential, and that includes you. That's right.